Hi, I'm John Waterhouse, and this is Weekday Wisdom. My question for you today is, who do you appreciate? Well, there are people that I appreciate that I have known for several years who just received their licenses and are now ministers in our movement. So I've made it a point to call and remind them how grateful I am for the work that they're doing. And it made for some lovely conversations. Uh, Yet I want to tell a story to you today that will really answer this question about who do you appreciate. The story is about a man named Bob Danzig. After being abandoned by his natural parents, Bob lived in 5 different foster homes during his youth and spent his early childhood wanting someone to love and appreciate him. When he was 12 years old, he was assigned a new social worker. Her name was Mae Morris. After doing all the paperwork to move him to yet another foster home, May sat him down, looked him directly in the eyes, and said, "Bobby, I want you to always remember these words. You are worthwhile." No one had ever said that to Bob before. And in that very moment, something changed. Each time they met, May would repeat those same words to him, which became an affirmation of appreciation that he heard over and over again in his mind. Bob graduated from high school at 16, not because he was highly intelligent or incredibly motivated. It was because of some kind of glitch in the system, the education system. But he accepted his diploma and went looking for a job. And he soon found one at the Albany New York Times. He became a copy boy, and his first boss was a woman named Margaret. After he had worked at the Albany New York Times for about 6 months, Margaret called him into her office one day and asked him to sit down. He thought for sure he was getting fired. But what she did was she sat him down and looked right into his eyes and said to him, "I've been the office manager here for 15 years. I've been observing you, and I believe you are full of promise." Those words on that day gave Bob permission to aspire for something greater in his life. Those simple yet positive messages of appreciation from those 2 women became Bob's words to live by, and ultimately gave him the courage to be the very best that he could be. 16 years after starting as a copy boy, he became the publisher of the Albany New York Times. And 7 years after that, he became the chief executive officer of Hearst Newspapers, one of the largest newspaper companies in the world. If you don't know the Hearst Corporation, it owns newspapers, magazines, television channels, and television stations all across America. Most notably, the San Francisco Chronicle, the Houston Chronicle, Cosmopolitan, and Esquire magazines. It owns 50% of the A&E cable news network and 20% of ESPN sports cable network, both in partnership with the Walt Disney Company. Bob Danzig played a pivotal role in the dramatic growth of Hearst Newspapers' operations in his career that spanned over 50 years. But he was much more than a successful corporate executive. He was known for mentoring and encouraging young talent and creating career opportunities for all of those who were lucky enough to be taken under his wing. He was also among the longest serving and most beloved and admired partners of the Hearst organization. But he was not only a business executive, and he was also accepted into the Stanford University prestigious journalism fellowship program and later served on its board. Danzig was a faculty member at the New School University in New York and a major force behind the Hearst Management Institute. Danzig would eventually become an author and motivational speaker, drawing from his childhood experience in foster care. Bob Danzig credits all of his success to those simple words of appreciation and love, again from those 2 women in his life. What a wonderful example of how little gifts of appreciation can make such a difference, not just in one person's life, but perhaps in generations of lives. So I invite you to reach out to someone that you admire and offer them some words of appreciation. It'll make you feel good, and it'll do something probably more than you could even imagine. It may have more impact than you could possibly know. So give it a try and see what happens. And with that, I shall know for you a fantastic day.